Hello. Greetings and welcome. Welcome to this creative, conscious contemplation. Just allowing our consciousness to freely express itself in each and every moment. Just allowing yourself to be free at last. Not just free from, but free to. Free enough to be human. Free enough to be all that being a human being entails. And free enough to be non-human or something other than human. The awareness, the Parabrahman, that which is nameless and formless, that which can't be spoken about, that which is beyond concept, idea, word, image. So just allow yourself to relax. Finally, allow yourself to relax. And just allow your mind and your heart to open. With every breath, with every inhalation, and with every exhalation, just allowing the body, mind, spirit to open and relax. Just to be open to the possibility of something different. Different than perhaps you've experienced before. Something new. Do you want something new? Something fresh? Something beyond the mind? Something beyond what you already know? Ask, and you shall receive. Knock, and the door shall be opened. For God is like a father, like a mother, who gives and gives and gives freely, lovingly, without any expectation of return. This is not a business arrangement. This is an act of love. An act of love. A pure act of love has no ego, no self in it. It is empty of all self-conscious ego. There's no thought about self. What will I get if I give this love? Pure love is freely given. And this free love can be given and shared between strangers, between nature and humanity, between the stars and the heavens. Love is everywhere. Love is who you are. So as we sit, we simply relax and allow ourselves to open to something that was actually always here, something which has never left us, nor could it. Something so intimate and personal, and yet impersonal as well. Sensing the aliveness of this moment. What does it feel like, this moment, to be in a body to be a human being? What does it feel like? What is the sense of being a human being? Just noticing, just looking with eyes wide open, with heart wide open, without any fear or doubt, being with what is, noticing what is true in this moment. What is the truth of this moment? What thoughts are coming and going? What feelings or emotions are arising and falling? What sort of information are the five senses perceiving and collecting? What are you aware of? Are you aware? Does it take any effort to answer that question? Are you aware? It takes no effort. It is self-evident, so obvious, that this awareness is always present. It's always aware. It's always awareing, if you will. And it's silent. It's still. The awareness doesn't seem to have any desires or fears or demands. It's happy with everything that appears and disappears within it. It has no name or form, no boundaries, no beginning and no end. It doesn't seem to have been born, nor does it seem that it will die, being no thing. This awareness, it's a presence. It's a beingness. It's an emptiness and a fullness at the same time. This awareness is the context for all the changing content. The entire universe is expanding and unfolding within this vast, 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 vast awareness. You are that awareness. But don't just think about awareness as a thought. Experience awareness. Sense the awareness. Again, sometimes by just asking this simple question, am I aware? The awareness answers, of course, without a question, without a word of yes or no. It is perceived as a sense. Am I aware? The awareness is there. And once you sense that awareness, once you sort of perceive what it is, this awareing presence, then you realize it's always with you, because it is you. When the body wakes up in the morning, awareness is already there. It doesn't need to be turned on. There's no switch. There's no on and off switch. Awareness is always aware. Even when the body is sleeping, sometimes awareness is aware of itself. It's aware that it is conscious. It's aware of a dream, or it's aware of the body sleeping even. 24/7, this awareness being this consciousness. People say that they want God, but for many of us, we must admit that God is some sort of a concept. We have this idea and image of what God is and what God isn't. But as Adyashanti has said, If something isn't there when we're not thinking about it, then it doesn't truly exist. If you have to think about it in order for it to be, then you must see that it is something created in the mind, that exists in the mind only. This is why they say the world is nothing but a projection of the mind. Name and form, name and form. But when mind dissipates and dissolves and disappears, this abstract conceptual mind, then the world doesn't appear as the world, it appears as the consciousness that you are. And it is seen that there is variety and difference, of course, but no separation anywhere. That all there is the one, God. The true God, the living reality, that which always is. And we don't have to think about it, imagine it. It is what is. Being is the only constant. This being, this presence, this aliveness, this emptiness, fullness, this nothing, everything, this love, this compassion, this awareness. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, every human being can say, I am. I am. I am. This I amness, this beingness is our essential nature. And every human being can say, I am aware. Awareness is already and always happening. And if you pay attention, you will notice that you love to be. You love to exist. And even when the physical body dies, or when the egoic person dies or disappears, there is still a something which is nothing. There's still a beingness, a presence, an awareness. There's still an energy, a consciousness, an intelligence, and a creativity that is eternal, timeless. It's ancient and it's fresh and new in every moment. Its expression is always bubbling up. Each moment, a new expression happening in the now, in the timeless being of now. Just as the ocean is so deep, you can go to the very bottom of the ocean, and it is silent and still. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. It is this vast being. And yet at the shallow part of the ocean, at the top, there is movement, the appearance of movement, the freshness of the now, the expression of the now. And they are simultaneously happening, two expressions of that one ocean of being. You are that. You are the person in a sense, and you are beyond the person. Of course, in oneness, you must be everything, yes. Because all there is you, the one. Nothing exists outside of self. There is no second. There is no other. There is no object. There's only the absolute subject, the absolute supreme reality, the Parabrahman. Again, just words, names. Some of these words and names, these pointers, can help redirect the consciousness back to itself. reminding the awareness, turn, look back at yourself. Be aware of awareness. You won't find awareness as an object, as a noun, as a thing. But as awareness turns and looks back at itself, awareness of awareness, it's as if a resting takes place, a coming home takes place. If you live inside of the mind, if you live inside of the world of name and form, probably there will be the tendency to always look outside of yourself for happiness, for fulfillment, for value, for entertainment. But at some point, the consciousness turns around and comes back to itself. It's never left itself. How could it? But there is the play, the expression, the appearance of returning home, returning to the heart, returning to the beloved. And as it has been said poetically, you return home as if for the first time. Everything comes full circle. But now there is an awareness of awareness. It's a conscious return. There is a knowing. And even that dualistic expression crumbles in a beautiful way. So then truly, not even a knowing can be spoken about. Because with knowing, you also need two. So all sense of two just dissolves and disappears. And then you are left with nothing. Not that you are left, because you won't be there either. You as a person, you as the imagined abstract conceptual self, you won't be there. And that's okay, because you were never that person. You were never that self-image. Perhaps for a while you identified with and as that self-image. But when that self-image, when the brain stops processing this false self, this egoic self, then it is seen that there never was a false egoic self. There was only the appearance of something. There was an experience of a contracted energy, yes. But that was just energy contracting. And then at some point, energy stops contracting. It releases its grip, its grasp upon itself. And it just releases. Letting go, letting go. Everything melting, dissolving, and disappearing into the beauty of this emptiness. This emptiness is so pure and beautiful. And yet it has no qualities or characteristics. It is no thing. And yet it also feels like it's everything. Wisdom says that I am no thing. And love says that I am everything. And between those two, my life flows. Life is so fluid, like water, like a river that's rushing eternally back to the ocean. But water is always water. You are always what you are, no matter what you identify with, no matter how deluded you may feel or be. All delusion is temporary. All illusion will be woken up from. The person won't do it. The person will dissolve. The person will disappear. Presently, perhaps, the brain is creating a false sense of self, but there is no self. There is no entity. There is no center inside of the human body. There's no little person inside of the brain or the mind. There's just life. this beautiful, vast life. And it's impersonal, yes, but also personal, of course. Just look at the world. Look at all of the personal relationships. Look how consciousness is loving itself, how consciousness is relating to and with itself. Consciousness loves itself, and sometimes it appears to be fighting and arguing with itself. But as consciousness wakes up and out of this illusion of separation, then all violence, all anger, all hatred, all of that disappears. It's as if the clouds are parting and the sun shines more brightly. The heart is full and filled with more and more love and compassion. And this is not something you do. This is not something you use effort in order to achieve. This happens all by itself. This is the grace of God. This is the grace of grace. This is you, your true you, the you-less you, the impersonal, personal you. Intimacy with 10,000 things. Intimacy with the One. I am that I am, and I no longer perceive separation anywhere. I look and I see myself, my true self, my higher self, my divine self, which is a selfless self. There's no ego. There's no self-consciousness. There's no image that needs to be maintained or protected. There's just this beautiful, divine, universal life. Conscious, creative, intelligent, wise, beautiful, ever expanding, ever growing, ever deepening, ever rising. And of course, beyond all movement as well, because what you are is the context. You are the here and the everywhere. You are the now and the always. You are. You cannot escape yourself, nor why would you? You are the fullness and the completeness of the I am. Om, Om, Om. Rest. Relax. As Ramana Maharshi said, what will happen will happen. No matter how hard you try not to make it happen, it will happen. And what will not happen will never happen, no matter how hard you try to make it happen. Therefore, save yourself time and energy and effort and relax. Yes, follow your heart. That's all we can do, is follow our heart. Follow the wisdom of the moment. Follow that small, silent voice within that tells you, turn left, turn right, go straight, sit, speak, wait. Listen to that divine intelligence. Listen to that higher wisdom, especially those voices which lead you to greater health and consciousness and love and compassion. Be free, explore, experiment, discover what you are and what you aren't. Pay attention, notice what is happening right now. What is the oneness trying to birth in this moment? Do you have the courage to allow that birthing to take place? Do you have the knowledge? Because if you have the knowledge of what you are, then even courage won't be needed necessarily. You will simply know that this is what is. And every moment will be a delicious expression of life. Yes. Yes. Life is so beautiful, so full of meaning. People want meaning. Life is already blasting, overflowing with meaning. Each and every moment has its own meaning. Sometimes it's simply making breakfast. That's the moment that's being expressed. And it already has all the meaning it needs. The body needs to be fed, the body makes breakfast, the body eats, and then the body digests the food, etc., etc., etc. Life is already full of meaning and purpose. If you are a teacher, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or a dancer, or a politician, or a nurse, whatever it is, that is your meaning and purpose in each moment. But you are so much more than your individual role. The role is just a vehicle, a tool, a means of expressing. But there's always something more happening. If you are awake and attuned to the spirit within, you will sense the more that is always present. So no matter what you're doing, there's always something deeper or higher happening. That's not a heavy thing. That's a light thing. There's always a dance happening. If we pay attention, we'll notice that. Spirit is always dancing. Spirit is always playing and singing and loving and serving. And you are that. Allow it to happen. Stop resisting life. Stop saying no. Say yes. To whatever degree feels comfortable. And sometimes, of course, it's great to be uncomfortable, to go beyond the comfort circle. That is where all growth takes place, as we move gently, moment to moment, inch by inch, beyond our comfort circle. Beyond that which we know, moving into the unknown. That is where all discovery happens, takes place. Imagine all the scientists, let's say, all the spiritual sages and saints who went beyond and who told us about what is beyond the known. What if they never had the courage to do so? What if they never had the curiosity to wonder? What's beyond what I know? What's around the corner? What's deep within inside of me? What is beyond my mind? What happens in the physical body? What is this body composed of and comprised of? These are helpful questions, healthy questions, curious questions. You could say that oneness is curious about itself. It's an appearance, of course, but it's as if oneness is relearning about itself. It's waking up to itself. It's remembering, in a sense, what it is and what it's not. Consciousness looks out at this vast universe and says, what is this? What is the sun? Yes, I see the sun as an appearance, as this hot, bright, shining thing in the sky. But what is it? I want to know its very nature. Who am I? I want to know my nature. I want to know the nature of all the stars. I want to know the nature of heaven and earth. I want to know the nature of the mountains and the trees and the rivers and the animals. Not that I see them as objects separate from myself, but because I sense that they and I, we share this oneness. We share this one life. And I want to know, what are the other aspects of myself? So that's why it's been said, if you really know yourself, you know everything else. If you know yourself, you know God. If you know God, you know yourself. If you know yourself, you know the world. And if you know the world, you know yourself. If you know your mind, you're going to know other minds, because they're all so very similar. If you see that your mind is full of desires and fears, you will then understand that everyone else's mind is also full of desires and fears. And as you become more compassionate towards yourself, holding yourself, embracing yourself as if you were your only child, as you love yourself, then you naturally begin to love others as well. This is why Buddha spoke so much about understanding and compassion. When we understand what's happening, we naturally have compassion. It's not even that we have compassion as a possession. It's just that life responds to life with compassion, as compassion. When suffering appears in any shape or form, compassion naturally and effortlessly, organically and authentically arises to meet that suffering. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Sometimes we're perhaps embarrassed by how much love we feel, even for a total stranger. What a wonderful problem to have, to feel so much love for a family member, a friend, a stranger, a colleague, a client, a human being. We are all human beings, and when we feel that compassion, what a gift. In this world of violence and confusion and ignorance, what a gift it is to feel love, to sense and feel that compassion move us, so that our love is not just sentimental, not just a feeling. The feeling, of course, too, can be quite substantial and powerful. But to actually also be moved by that love, to love all and to serve all, to help ever and to hurt never, to do good and be good and see good naturally, not because you should, not even because you want. It just happens. It's because of your nature. It is your nature to love and to serve. But again, we can't really make these blanket statements about what you are, because again, every moment is so beautifully unique. Every moment, life is responding to life in a different and beautiful way. It's not that we are trapped or limited by any of this. Again, life is very creative, very diverse. And that's what makes it so wonderful. You can never totally expect what's going to happen in the future. Nisargadatta said, the real is never that which has been expected, which means the real is never anything in the mind. The mind, it's okay, the mind does that. Imagination does that. Imagination is curious in a sense. It's always projecting itself into the future and wondering, and that's beautiful. What will happen? What will be? The mind wants to know. Sometimes out of fear and self-protection. And sometimes just out of a beautiful natural curiosity. So the mind is wondering and imagining, what will the next moment be? What will the next moment appear as? What will the next moment give me? Again, the mind, it wants pleasure and it doesn't want pain. The mind wants to be entertained. It wants things to be interesting and stimulating and enjoyable and pleasant and pleasing. Even the challenges the mind finds pleasing. Here is the problem. Now I will come up with the solution. Here is the obstacle. I will overcome it. Here is the challenge. I will rise to the challenge and I will conquer it. I will be victorious. The mind is a movie. And you are always the protagonist, are you not? The movie is always about you. It's you against the world, against other, against this moment. But that's just the dream. That's only an appearance. There is no other. There is no you. There's only this. Nothing appearing as everything. Emptiness, fullness, God, love, light, truth, peace, peace, peace. So in a few moments, this creative, conscious contemplation, this recording will end, but life will never end. This meditation will never end. You will never end, what you truly are. Timeless being, timeless being. I am aware. I am alive. I am awake. I am conscious. I am this presence, aliveness, intelligence, creativity, and it's always here. It's always happening. I am the void. I am the darkness and the emptiness and the nothingness, and I am the light and the color and the dancing and the singing and the expression as well. Two sides of the one same coin. I am aware and I love to be. I am aware and I love to be. I am aware and I love to be. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am nothing perceivable or conceivable. I am nothing physical or mental, but that which makes all perception possible. Awareness, life, the absolute supreme. No longer do I even need to label what I am. All labels are just words. There is reality, and then there is what we think about reality. There is what is, and then there is a label that we attach to what is, that the mind does automatically, incessantly, all by itself. Let the mind label. Let the mind do what it wants. It's very playful. Let it jump around like a monkey. It doesn't matter. It's never mattered because it's never been you. The more that you become aware of awareness, the less you will be concerned with what the mind does or doesn't do. the less you will try to control life, try to control what is. Because you will find so much peace and satisfaction and fulfillment and love in just the presence of your own beingness. Just being aware will become so satisfying to you that naturally you'll no longer be interested in what the mind is showing and what the mind is trying to lure you into. When the Buddha woke up, the Buddha said, "Image maker, I have seen you. You shall make no more images." The Buddha saw the mind. The mind is always creating. And again, nothing wrong. Let the mind create. Birth, life, death, creation, life, destruction. There is this process that's forever happening. Let it happen. You can't change it anyways. Don't argue with what is. Don't demand anything of this moment. Let life flow. You are the silent, still awareness, beingness, consciousness, spirit. Watch the movie or don't. It doesn't matter. You are what you are. An incarnation well lived, full of meaning and love, full of discovery and revelation and realization. That which is born and dies is not you. Let what comes come, and let what goes go, and find out what remains, what is, what is, what is here and now. What is aware? What is perceiving this moment? Can it be perceived? Can it be perceived? Is it an object? Is it a thing? Allowing awareness to turn around and look back at itself. Awareness of awareness. Awareness of awareness. Stay here. Awareness of awareness. Beingness. Allowing the beingness to be. Allowing the consciousness to be conscious. Nothing to do, no one to be, nowhere to go. Everything is happening all by itself. Whatever needs to be done will get done. If the body needs to do something, then life will move the body and it will be achieved. Without any effort. Just letting life flow, letting life be life. No need to change anything. Everything is divinely perfect. Always and already. God is this. God is what is. God is you, and you are God. When I say you, I'm speaking of God. And when I'm speaking of God, I'm speaking of you. Advaita, no separation anywhere. No separation anywhere. Variety and difference, but no separation anywhere. Awareness of awareness. Awareness of awareness. I am aware, and I love to be. I am aware, and I love to be. I am aware, and I love to be. Be that which you cannot not be. Be that beingness which is the only constant. Be that awareness which is always effortlessly being aware. I am aware. I love to be. Awareness of awareness, allowing the expression of consciousness to expand and change. It doesn't matter. Let it be free now. No longer any need to identify with anything, with thought, with form, with image. Just allow everything to be free. You are freedom itself. You are life. You are the Absolute Supreme. You are not what you think you are. You are not what you take yourself to be. You are not the changing self-image. You are awareness, beingness, consciousness, stillness, silence, the beloved, creativity, intelligence, wisdom, beauty, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, peace, truth, isness, goodness, beingness, life. You are nothing appearing as everything. You are the absolute appearing as the relative. You are the formless appearing as form. And beyond, beyond, beyond. Gate, 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 paragate, parasangate, bodhi swaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace.